starting from the EuroLeague season, this is actually the topic that Jaron wanted to bring in. Because I'm just guessing, again, we spoke a little bit before, we had lunch, but I'm just guessing that you wanted to bring up the point that it could be the best EuroLeague we've ever experienced so far, the strongest, the most competitive. Is it something we can claim on this episode?
I think as far as the competition, I think as far as like teams, like good teams, I think this is going to be the best year it's been. I mean, Hapoel Tel Aviv is spending a lot of money. Dubai is here spending a lot of money. I mean, you have the teams who are always good historically. With 20 teams now, it's going to be a lot more games, a lot more excitement for the fans, a lot more pressure for the players, but highly competitive. I think the whole play-in and the play-in edition has been great, but I think this year especially it's going to be a fight for the last little bit of seeding for who gets in the playoffs. But I'm excited. I'm really excited for the season. It's going to be a really good one, I think.
I like when people can measure the growth of the league in numbers, because I think that numbers help to have a big picture. And I've just checked the numbers for the upcoming season, and we all already forgot that we lost Alba to Champions League.
We didn't forget. We're celebrating still.
And I was actually stunned that they got 10 wins in 2 seasons and 68 regular season games in 2 seasons. 23-24 and 24-25. They got 10 wins, which put them in 17th place in each of those last 2 seasons we had. So instead of Alba with 10 wins in 2 seasons, we're going to have basically Valencia, which is financially weakest of the newcomers that we're going to have. And their budget, because Alba's budget was the lowest budget in the EuroLeague. Valencia's budget should be somewhere in the 12th or 13th place based on their payroll. So we're basically instantly getting a play-in contender. Then, of course, we're heading to Hapoel Tel Aviv. I checked a little bit randomly, but I checked their potential payroll, and they should be somewhere around top 8 or top 10, top 7 maybe. So we're basically getting a play-in team. And when Dubai comes with 16 million euro payroll budget, which puts them in the top 5 or top 6. So basically, we're gonna get a playoff team. That's the EuroLeague that we're gonna have. That's the 3 newcomers we're getting for the next season, and it should be really insane.
Yeah, you replace a team that couldn't even make the finals of the German league. I think they got eliminated in the quarterfinals or something in the playoffs.
I think by I think.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, they did. They got swept actually. Right?
You replaced them with the Eurocup champion, with a team that didn't exist 2 years ago, who has a lot of money and buys the players that they want, really. And with the team that is an established EuroLeague team that keeps flip-flopping from Eurocup to EuroLeague, but still you got Valencia with their core that it doesn't really change that much. They added some players, they lost some players, but in general, there's a culture, there's a fan base, everything. So I think, of course, you are improving the EuroLeague as a whole. Of course, you lose some of the big players like Nigel Hayes-Davis, for example, to the NBA. You get some back. You get Vasilija Micic back. This is where I want to talk about the players as well, because this, I think, is another subtopic of this topic. Starting with Monaco, you guys added Nikola Mirotic. For you personally, I don't know how that news was, but that's where I want to hear your reaction. So you obviously add one of the biggest names in your position from the EuroLeague to your team. How does it change the team, do you think?
He gives us a different dynamic that we haven't had at a position 4, like my whole time at in Monaco. But I think he's probably top 3 player in Europe personally. Like, he's a very tough guy to have to guard personally for me. He's efficient. He can score at all 3 levels. He can shoot it, and that's something we've lacked at the 4. And as you guys know, Monaco's been guard oriented since I've been there, and even before that. So having a guy that has to have the ball now at the 4 and it can play some 5, it's gonna be good for us, I think. Obviously you got to figure out, chemistry and what lineups work with what lineups. But I'm excited overall. Having a guy like him will be great. It'll affect me maybe a little bit. I think I'll be able to play some 3 though, like I did when we had Sasha as our head coach. So I'm not really too concerned for myself, and I enjoy winning. I love being part of winning. I've been fortunate to be a part of winning my whole career in EuroLeague so far. So whatever the team needs me to do, I'll do and be happy.
Do you see Spanoulis playing Mirotic at the 5 at all?
Maybe a little bit in certain scenarios, but he's a defensive-minded coach, so he loves defensive-minded players. So I think there will be a lot of times where we play together, me and Mirotic.
Do you think he was the missing piece for the title, or do you think that he is the missing piece that finally gonna put you on the top of the podium?
Oh man, I think it's tough to say. I mean, I think we could have got the final last year. We could have got the title last year, I believe, with our roster, the way it was constructed. But I think adding a piece like him, of his caliber, I think it puts us in that conversation this year. It's probably one of the top 3 candidates to take home the trophy. But also, I mean, as you guys know, like sometimes it doesn't go that way. Like you can have all the players and spend all the money, but it doesn't equal trophies. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. It's a very, very early right now to talk about this stuff. But I feel very confident about what we have and what we're bringing back, and I'm excited for the year.
I think that Mike is definitely watching the podcast. But is Mike actually coming back? What do you think about this whole situation?
I think he's coming back.
Because this is the game changer. If he's not actually coming back, then we have a different conversation in my eyes.
I don't think he was ever leaving, to be honest. I don't think he was leaving. You have to really know Mike to understand him. And I think he would have told you he wanted to leave, but I think he really, really loves Monaco. He loves the players. He loves being there. And he's had success there, He's been back to the Final Four twice now. And I think overall he's happy. But the whole drama and everything that happened, I think it's like part of it, Like all the best players in Europe have a little bit of drama that comes with them. So it's something we all have to accept and just deal with. I mean, he's that good of a player. You got to kind of ignore some of that stuff. And
I actually generally want him to stay in Monaco. That's the thing I've been repeating for a while, because I think that he would be a huge upgrade for any EuroLeague title contender. I don't know, Fener, Madrid, Olympiacos, I mean, you name it. Mm-hmm. But I cannot see him having not just a bigger impact, but leaving a bigger legacy if he actually stays in Monaco and finally wins it here. Because I consider Monaco as, it's not like his team, but he left a big mark in this organization from the beginning, jumping to the team from their debut season. And he was growing as a player. I think that he was a peak Mike James as a point guard for the winning team last season, although Mike is, by the way, celebrating his 56th birthday, I guess, today.
Yeah. 36.
Yeah. Wow. So although he's considered as a vet, he really played his peak basketball in terms of being mature leader for the winning
35th.
team.
You made
35th.
Okay.
You made him a bit older.
Okay. Sorry,
he won't be happy about that.
But yeah, I really want to see him on Monaco's training camp 10 days after we finish this episode.
You make the final. You had a chance to win the final and to leave that team.
You keep the core.
I think this is the best decision that, even if it was a decision, I'm not sure. It was more of some kind of a little bit of a tantrum, maybe. I don't know. Don't want to call it like that, maybe, because Mike will get mad about this word. But anyways, what I wanted to say, you add a couple of, first of all, you add Nikola Mirotic. So you add to what you already had to make to the final, and Kevarius Hayes at the center. I think you only improve. And actually, my question is, why do we keep thinking that Monaco isn't like a top 2-3 team usually? Every season, we put them at 4, 5 in our predictions. And I'm trying to understand, are we underrating these players because of their names? What's happening, Donatas? Because
I get that we have a Monaco player on the podcast.
I'm not saying anything right now. I won't say a word right now, but it's a great question.
This team made the final, right? This team made the final last year, this past season.
Okay.
So, yeah. Now they added Nikola Mirotic. Are you gonna put them at top 2 above one of the Greek teams?
I want to see all the players in training camp first before making my own predictions or putting them in the power ranking.
Assume everyone's at training camp.
Exactly.
I'm saying assume.
So,
you can assume.
Yeah, assume
they're at the training camp. In my eyes, they would be the S tier team, and I could put couple of more, maybe a few more teams.
4 teams.
So basically
2
Greeks.
One Turkish team and them, right?
Probably.
The final 4.
It makes sense, right?
Whoever was in the final.
I'm just not sure about
I think
Fener.
4 teams in the S tier is a lot right now. I think the S tier is 2 teams, 1 or 2 teams.
Okay, so who else is next to you in the S tier?
I think Panathinaikos.
Panathinaikos.
Yeah.
Okay,
makes sense. Is that because Fener lost?
They lost
Nigel?
a lot. They know Nigel, Guduric, and also McCullum. Those are 3 big pieces to lose.
But still, they're like 2 signings away. So, again,
I mean, for
it's
sure,
early, but at the current state, and Olympiacos is going to make a move as well. So it might change their picture. But I don't know. Why do you think Monaco is above Olympiacos and Fener? What makes you think like that?
Well, we finished in the top 4 every year I've been in the EuroLeague. We've had stability, we've had success, we've kept our core pieces together. We finally got over the hump of beating Olympiacos in the postseason. I think the year before I came, Monaco lost to them in 5 games, and then obviously what happened in the Final Four here a couple years ago. And then this season that we just finished, it's kind of the year that we've shown like, all right, we're at this level, if not better. And I think we're just a better team overall. I honestly believe our playing style I think doesn't fit well with them, and I'm always confident when we play against that team. I think they're a much easier opponent than Panathinaikos, and I said that all year last year.
Yeah. And what makes the main difference playing Pana and playing Olympiacos?
Because
he knows what's
for
inside.
sure. But I mean, Olympiacos, they have that style of the way they want to play, of like moving the ball around, sharing the ball a lot. They don't really have a guy that can you have Fournier, of course, an amazing player, but they don't have really a guy at the end of the shot clock that can get a shot off or create for someone else, in my opinion.
That was key in the semifinal game.
Yeah,
basically.
When we got up by 10, I was like, all right, we're going to win this game, because they don't really have a creator like that at the end of the game that can really win you a game, in my opinion. And Pana, you obviously have Kendrick Nunn, you have Slukas, you have Jerry and Grant, who's played great. So you have a lot of guys who could impact the game at the end of a game. Olympiacos is always good enough to just be up by 10 points by the end of the game, where they're going to win because they beat you to death the whole game. But in a Final Four, anything can happen. And I always say it, guards win you Final Fours, and I think we had the best guard crew in that game.
Do you think Keenan Evans changes that picture this year when he comes back from the injury?
I think he does. Yeah, I think he does. I'm curious to see how he'll look after the injury, but I think he gives them a different dynamic they haven't had.
I think he gives them the guy you were talking about, the guy who can take the ball at the end of the shot clock, because that's what we saw with him playing for Žalgiris. He was making most of those clutch shots.
Needed.
How many game winners we've seen from him? So.
Yeah. And if you remember, we were together in Abu Dhabi, and when I was talking with Keenan, when I was getting the intel and the feedback about Keenan, the way he was coming back to the practices, the feedback was amazing. That he looked like the best player on the scrimmage, basically, but didn't want to rush his comeback. Something maybe what went wrong with Matthias Lazor return. So it should give hope that Keenan can return to his previous level, but at the same time, if Olympiacos is actually looking for another guard, maybe it means that there's still uncertainty about what kind of Keenan Evans they're getting when he returns to the floor, and they need some insurance behind that while they try to get a solid player that they're looking for their backcourt. Maybe that's how it is.